would like to reach out my hand for myself.
Cheers, bro.
Cheer.
Morning, team.
Hey, happy birthday to Canyon and Simon Hill.
Oh, the brothers.
Boys, you guys are old.
Definitely. Getting there. Age is just a number, though. I hope you all have a good day. Pull up with your morning beverage. Got the tunes for you. You sharing our link, bro?
Right.
Sharing our link for our 100th episode. Boom, boom, boom. Woohoo! Rev it up, team. 100th live stream of the 808 Breakfast Banter. All the vibes. All the vibes.
Who would have thought we would have done 100? I didn't think that when we first started. I was like,
Well, I wasn't really counting, but
no.
I mean, you know, straight up just grateful to be here this morning. I really kicked in this morning that I was like, wow, we've done 100 live streams. It was the first lockdown. I think it was like the first week of the lockdown. You got it up and going. You did a couple.
I think the first day of it, which was I think it was like a Monday, and then I think I'd walked the dog and said, hey, I'm going to jump on. I did like live for about a week and a half on Instagram.
Yeah.
And then we saw Robert Hollis do his stuff on StreamYard.
Yeah.
And then it kind of morphed into this, I suppose, and it's been here ever since. So it's been pretty cool, man. We've done some really cool shit. We've met some really cool people, and we've talked some really random stuff. So.
Really random.
Yeah.
I look at Carly's just done the calculations for us. 50 hours of listening to us. I appreciate that. I mean, the combos that range. I was honestly sifting through our content, and I'm like, the combos that we have are just.
Yeah, that was funny about the poo.
I know the hip one, right?
The hip one, and then scratching my
nuts
during the
in
MRI.
the MRI. But yes,
I
that guy.
Yeah.
I really need an itch. No, I'm just super stoked we made it to the 100. I was saying yesterday that I honestly couldn't care if we had one viewer or we had a million. Just the conversations and just showing up every morning with our little cup of gold, sharing just the random yarns. And it's really turned into something that I'm super grateful for, and super grateful for all of yous for showing up as well. So yeah,
I mean, we did this as a way to stay connected during COVID. That was like the main impetus behind it, was so that it was a way for me being able to communicate with our people.
Yeah.
And then as a result, it kind of morphed into, well, it's not really, it's for our people. We announce a lot of things that are happening within the gym, but it's also for people outside of the gym.
Absolutely.
Who just want to come in and see us and hang out with us and just listen to some really randomness. Not necessarily listen to mainstream radio where it can be a little bit too PC. We kind of can talk quite freely here.
Yeah.
And we can be a bit vulnerable in some cases, and we can be really open and funny, and we get to have you guys on and share our stories. And I mean, I've probably shared a little bit too much on here sometimes. And you guys know a lot about my toilet life now. So but that's the kind of cool thing, right? It humanizes us, and I really enjoyed it. And I get to drink coffee with my sis every morning. So.
Handy. I'm just super grateful for this guy. All the gratitude this morning, like straight up 100 episodes, 100 live streams. And again, having a coffee with you every morning and just being like, waking up and being like, what are we going to talk about today? Yeah. And then being like triggered by something and going, oh, what about this? And like, all the countdowns of the movies.
Yeah.
And honestly, it's only the beginning. It honestly really is, bro. Like, you have no idea. It's just super exciting that we get to do this all the time.
Yeah, actually, one of the things I was going to talk about this morning, it actually happened on our 7 a.m. class today, right? So we're doing a 7 a.m. class, and I saw Georgia.
Yeah.
I think she must have jammed her finger or something with the dumbbell, and so she immediately does this. Like that fixes a jammed finger, putting it in your mouth. And then it reminds me of back in the day when we used to play rugby at school and stuff like this. And you hurt yourself, like, I hurt my knee or I hurt my shoulder, whatever. And then the coach or the trainer comes running out with a bucket of cold water, and there's got that big foamy sponge.
Yeah.
and basically slaps that on your knee, squeezes it instantly. It's like magic water, makes it feel better. And then you suck on the sponge to suck some water in, and then you go like
that heals everything.
Yeah, that heals everything. Magic water, the magic trainer water.
Yeah, definitely.
And I'm wondering if it, if maybe that's what happens if you hurt yourself. You instantly put it in your. I don't know why, but you do, right?
It must be natural instinct to because you always animals lick themselves to heal their wound, right? I wonder if it's our animal instinct going, put your finger in your mouth.
Well, there's a really cool thing I watched. It was actually on a CrossFit mini documentary thing. This guy with I can't remember his name. He's called Ra of Earth now. Anyway, he does this thing where he was shaking, right? Like he's just shaking after and before a workout. And the guy, Savon, goes up to him and says, "Oh, why are you shaking?" He goes, "Well, it's a natural healing process. If you ever look at animals, when they get hurt, they shake, right? And that's their way of getting their body to try and regenerate and heal." So what he used to do was he used to shake for about 5 minutes before a workout and 5 minutes after. And that was his process.
Don't tell me that. I'm going to turn into one of those.
Yeah, it's actually really cool.
Honestly,
like you sit there
straight up.
And you don't jump on your toes. You just sit there and you kind of push through your heels. And you just do that.
It's just actually quite therapeutic.
Yeah, and you just kind of shake and it kind of loosens the body and you kind of relax and you can zone out, listen to some music. Listen to the banter.
Booty is definitely jiggling. That is actually quite therapeutic. Oh, yes, I've been waiting for this all morning. When people cup their hands around their mouth to yell and cup their ears to listen, it doesn't actually do anything.
Yo, it's the same thing, right? Yeah.
Oi!
Yeah.
What if we go like, oi!
Oi! Oi!
Can you hear me?
Oi!
Woo!
Yeah.
Give me another one, Paz. They're funny.
Yeah. Well, it's because of saliva, right? Just chuck your fingers in there.
It must be an animal instinct or something.
Yeah, mammal thing to do. I don't know, but it was interesting, right? Because watching Georgia do that this morning got me thinking about that, and then I remembered about Raj. Yeah. And I was like, that's probably the truth because animals do that when they get injured. They usually sit up, they go find somewhere to hide, and then they shake to try and make them feel better.
Yeah. Buzzy.
Fun fact on your 100th episode.
100th episode banter sessions just coming up with animal instinct
bangers
in you. Anyways, moving on from that, bro. We announced the Bayside. You announced the Bayside.
Yeah.
Workout on Saturday.
The collab.
Yes.
Yep.
Give us a quick rundown on what's happening tomorrow and why everyone should join.
Yes.
On the Zoom session. If you've got a computer and you've got a spare space, bodyweight kettlebell, bodyweight dumbbell and barbell.
Yeah, options available.
Go.
Right, so
get it.
Reason we're doing it, right, for those that know me and know the gym, know that I'm heavily influenced by Amy Tarfai and Rob Watt and what they've done with CrossFit Project Bayside and Ultra Project. Right, we've been collabing with them for 5 years now. And we're really close. We communicate quite a bit. And obviously they're doing it really tough in Melbourne. Not just them, but everyone in Melbourne's doing it really tough. They're kind of like a sister city to Auckland. And we really feel for them. And we've been talking about this for a while now. Just kind of communicating between us. Man, we could do something. And then Auntie Mo said to me, I think it was on, what's today, Friday? Wednesday?
Yeah.
Wednesday, she said, "No, we should do a workout for them." And I was like, bet.
Let's do it. Yeah.
So Saturday, tomorrow, 9 o'clock New Zealand time, Melbourne, 7 o'clock time. In the morning, we're going to run a Zoom workout for anyone.
Yeah.
That you don't have to be in Melbourne. You can be in fucking Timbuktu if you are.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter where you are. What we want to do is that we want to show some support to our friends, family, and loved ones over in Melbourne. And we kind of want to stand with them in solidarity a little bit about how hard they're doing it because they've been in lockdown for 26 weeks.
Damn.
We're close to it, in and out. Super tough on businesses, super tough on the members.
Yeah.
And this is just the way for us to be able to share the spotlight with them, share the floor virtually. We in here always talk about being in the trenches with you guys.
Yeah.
This is about us now being in the trenches with them virtually overseas.
Hard.
So it's a 3-part workout tomorrow. There's a part A, part B, part C.
Yeah.
And you can choose whether you want to do it with body weight, whether you want to do it with a dumbbell or kettlebell or some form of other element, or if you want to do the barbell option.
Yeah.
Now, there's a little bit of everything in it. We've tried to make it pretty dynamic, challenging, because you know, for a lot of the people that follow us know that we do some pretty nuts workouts here.
Yeah.
That's been a direct reflection of what I've been taught by Rob and Amy.
Yeah.
And what they've taught me. And so we take a lot from them.
Yeah.
So we don't want to make it, we're not making it easy, but what we want to do is we want to make it challenging for you, but you can do it at your own level.
Yeah.
Bank on about an hour. That includes introduction, warm-ups, getting through the workout and the close down. So we're looking at roughly about an hour.
Mean. So
yeah.
Save that hour tomorrow, team, 9 a.m. NZ time, 7 a.m. Melbourne time. I like, just going back to what you said, being in the trenches. I think that for me that's what I feel most for it, is like with the Altar and CrossFit Bayside as a whole, as a community, wouldn't be like Amy and that wouldn't have what they have if it wasn't for their community. And I admire that. And I believe that if that was us in that situation, we would all come together like this. And having someone else reach out to us and being like, let's throw down together, because I don't know what it's like that we're going through. But, you know, at the same time, let's just go in the trenches together for an hour and let's just grind away. So I think ultimately 100%. I couldn't think of a better thing to do on a Saturday morning. But yeah, join us, share it, share all the Chief has got the post up on his page, share the I think are you gonna release the workout? Or
I'm gonna release it probably. I've got to do some minor changes right after this.
Yeah.
So probably about lunchtime, I'll release it on our page and on our story and a few other bits and pieces. The concept is literally all over. We want to do a little bit of gymnastics, but a bit of body weights, some huffy puffy type sort of stuff, and some sort of strength based work, and we kind of put it all together. Nothing too gnarly. Some very similarities about what we've done during the week. Yeah. You'll kind of see that kind of flow into this. It's generally how we run things anyway. They gave me an idea about what they were going to do naturally for their classes. Yeah. And we are going to take some of those ideas as well and probably implement that as well. Yeah. So other than that, man, it's going to be a bit of fun. It's going to be fine. I just saw the weather forecast for tomorrow for New Zealand and Auckland specifically. It's meant to be cloudy but fine. So, you know, if you've got an outdoor area, chuck your sounds on outside. It'd be like I imagine if we had, say, 80 people on Zoom. I just imagine what that would look like. It would just be an incredible experience. It'd be great for me as a coach to be able to try and manage that at the same time in communication. So that'd be a really great challenge for me. I'm going to come in early in the day. I'll actually do the workout before they do it. Yeah. Because I will need to be obviously in charge of the whole thing, but I will have shared the experience with you guys prior to doing it. So
gangsta, you know, when the coffee kicks in and you rev it up. Who else saw that? That was real quick. Honestly, just that combo just got me revved up. The coffee's kicked in, chucked it down. Honestly, it goes from like, I've gone from shotgun to sniper. Like
0 to 100.
Yeah, 0 to 100. Paz's got another one. Found this out yesterday. Mathematically, the average person walks the equivalent of 5 times around the world in their lifetime. I saw this at the end of the banter yesterday, and I was mind blown again. Mathematically, the average person walks 5 times around the earth. Mate, that's like on average.
It's a long way.
That is.
That's a long way.
I want to walk more.
What is the circumference of the earth? Like if you were to walk right around the equator, because that would be how you'd say you walk around the earth.
Yeah.
Is around the equator. Is that what that was, or is it like around like pole to pole?
Well, I don't know. Is it even circle?
Or is it? It was 40,000 Ks.
5 times.
5 times. What's that? 200,000 Ks. What's that in miles? Was that it's about 100,000 miles.
Damn.
But I'll eat that up for breakfast.
I'll have that for breakfast.
But I got that all day.
With my Weet-Bix.
I wonder if I could do. Here's a challenge for me next year. I wonder if I could. Was it 40,000 Ks?
Yeah.
40,000.
Hang on, just keep talking. I was going to do something real quick.
I wonder what he's going to plan. What you reckon?
Well, have a guess. Have a guess what I'm trying to
I
figure
reckon
out.
he's going to try and clock up 40K in running or in adventures. What? Hit us with it. If you live till you're 80, you walk about 110,000 miles. The circumference of the equator is 24,000.
Yeah, that equates to the 44,000 Ks.
I can't even do that maths. Yeah, Faith could easily run it. What's your challenge? What are you going to challenge yourself at? You just don't know yet because if you say it,
Well,
that's all right. I'm witnessing it.
It would say that if I tried to run that in a calendar year, that's 110 kilometers a day that I would have to run.
Holy.
Yeah. Which no, I'm not going to do that.
Wow.
But I wonder if you could do 110 burpees every day for 365 days. Would that be the equivalent
Well,
of
what did we calculate for the burpee mile? Because that's what we calculated it off.
So the burpee mile is roughly, it's an hour 10 to do the burpee mile roughly, give or take.
Yeah, and then how many burpees?
For 16 minutes, you're looking at about 230 burpees per 15 minutes. So
someone do the maths quickly, please.
Times 4, it's about 940 to 1,000 burpees roughly per mile.
So how many? So 940 burpees a day.
So 940. So 940. How many miles? 24,000.
Yeah.
Divided by 20.
I think. 100. Wow.
Sorry, hang on, the other way around.
We might be doing a burpees in the circumference of the equator. Just figuring that out.
That's all right.
What? How many?
It's 26 burpees a day.
For a year.
For a year. And
that's easy.
That gives you the miles. But if you do the Ks, it changes. Obviously,
right.
It's a higher number. Because you're basing it off miles and kilometers. It's just numbers. Because it's not equivalent in distance.
That's a good like pitch. 26 burpees a day, and you walked the circumference of the earth.
I should walk the
pow. Buy my t-shirt now.
I reckon you should walk the length of New Zealand.
Yeah, I definitely. That's definitely on the bucket list before robots take over. Hikoi.
I tell you what, I would walk New Zealand, Carly, if you did it with me.
Would you?
Yeah.
Oh my God, this would so be like Ice Age. Should be Sid. You would be.
I'll be Manny.
Yeah, you'd be Manny.
And there's little things like, can you carry me? Carry me.
Are sore.
My legs are sore. My nose is sore.
Oh,
my ears are sore. That would be Carly. Yeah, sloth. She's so.
Imagine them two walking the length of NZ.
We would be arguing within the first cave.
I'm surprised you'll be like fighting. And you know in like cartoons when like I think it's when Roadrunner and what's the coyote and then they fight and then the cartoon is like
Wile E. Coyote.
Yeah, and when they fight it's like the images of it like a little scrap pile. And it's like
it's like a little cut of dust.
Yeah, that's what you and Carly. Yeah, that's what you and Carly would be like.
Yeah. A friend of mine did it actually, and he did it. I think he did 40 Ks a day, and in 6 weeks, I think he got to Christchurch. I think that's how it worked. I think he did 40 Ks a day, and then he rested every 10 days. So he did one day. Every 10th day, he would have a rest.
I could do that if I could rest there for 10 days. If I had each spot landmarked out for those 10 days, I would definitely do that.
I think he did Cape Ranga to Whangarei or just past Whangarei in a week. Or close to it, like thereabouts.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's mean. We'd be rolling the length of NZ. A guy recently did it and he was on the news. Nice.
Yeah. There's a guy actually who just did it via the coast. So he
did the coastline.
He walked the coastline, yeah. A guy did that. Yeah. So
that would be amazing.
Obviously he had to come in and out. But yeah, he did the coastline.
That would be amazing.
And then there was a group that did it recently, or maybe a couple of years ago. They did it with jet skis. They did a jet ski, and it took them a couple of days.
That'd be cool.
That'd be pretty cool. You get a sore ass, I'd say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be really cool.
What now? Yeah, I think you would need a bigger challenge.
What?
I don't know.
You don't know yet?
Maybe from the top of Canada down to the South America.
That would be a good run.
Isn't there that walk though that's on the west coast that goes from Portland all the way down through to Mexico? They call it the Pacific Trail. Is it?
I don't know. Chuck
will know.
Chuck, do you know that the American to where? South America? Mexico?
No, it's on the west coast. I think it's called the Pacific Trail. And you go from Portland all the way, it might be to San Diego or might be into Mexico. And you actually walk. There's actually like a proper hike that goes up and around through California and stuff. And they've actually got set landmarks along the way where you can rest and you can send packages to certain like post shops along the way where you can send a package for your new boots.
Right.
So you walk along. Oh yes, Canada, Mexico. There you go.
Nice.
Yeah. I can't remember what it's called, Chuck, but I want to say it's Pacific Trail, but I might be wrong. But yeah, there's a movie made about it as well, actually, which is pretty famous. And yeah, there's people that just all they do is they just walk that trail for the rest of their life. That's their thing.
I tell you what, we did watch was that. Is it that marathon? That guy with that lights a cigarette? The Brooklyn? Is it Brooklyn?
Oh, the Barkley.
Barkley. Yeah, I watched that.
Barkley.
And wow.
That's sick.
Wow. That is out of this world material. If you haven't seen it, it's the Vita said it's the Pacific Crest.
Yeah, that's it.
Did you do that, Sitter?
It takes like 6 months or something.
That would be cool. But yeah, that Barkley Marathon.
Barkley Marathon, yeah. That's it.
And only like three or four people have ever finished it?
No, I think it's like 26 have finished. Ever. And it's actually something that Laz and I have talked about doing.
Really?
Yeah, for those that don't know, a quick cliff note on it.
Yeah, give us a...
So the Barkley Marathon is based off a guy that lives out in the middle of Tennessee somewhere.
Yeah.
And it's called the Barkley Marathon. And the way it works is that you have 4 days or 3 days to do 5 marathons. And the way it works is that you go do the marathon clockwise. Once you get back, you go anti-clockwise, then clockwise, then anti-clockwise. And then on the 5th one, you can go either way, up to you which way you want to go. And now the idea is that you don't get given a map, you get given a direction. And you get told certain waypoints where to go. And then you get to certain points and you got to look for the point and they'll give you a next direction of where to go. And people can get lost. People get lost days and days and days out there. And they change the course every year. And there's certain little idiosyncrasies to it. So if you want to get on this marathon, you have to write an essay or a letter and post it to the guy who will then send a post reply back to you. He doesn't do any emails or anything like that. The entry fee is generally like $1.60 and a license plate from your home country. And then he might ask for like a pair of socks or a T-shirt because he looks for something in his wardrobe that he needs for the next year. So that's how he kind of comes about.
Wow.
He's an old boy. And what you do is you get there. You don't know when the start time is.
Yeah.
You just get told to muster at a certain point, and it could be 3 days after the muster time. It could be within an hour. And the way that you know it is that you'll hear like a ringing of a bell. That's your hour warning. And it could be at 2 a.m. It could be at 10 a.m. And then he starts the event by lighting a cigarette and smokes a cigarette, and that's when you can start. Yeah,
it's honestly, I thought, oh, how could they make a movie of people running? But this is like extreme. Like that guy doesn't even look like he runs.
No, but he was a runner.
Right, and he's like let himself go.
Yeah, he was a runner, and then and he's super eccentric. He just doesn't give a shit.
And it's hectic because they don't. I think that at one point he's like, I've got to close my eyes for 20 seconds to have some sleep because they like can't. You have to keep going, right?
Yeah.
And then like he goes to his tent, his support crew's there, closes his eyes for 20 seconds, and then wakes up back again. And I'm like, okay, ready to go again. Yeah. Like, man, your mind is.
I think in that movie, right, 3 people finished.
Yeah.
Is that right? That's the first time that many people have finished, and he actually the next 2 or 3 years afterwards.
Yeah.
I think one person finished the year after, and then no one's finished since then.
Yeah, damn.
Because we follow it, and because I think they now do live updates on Facebook, which was the first last year. That's how we kept up to date.
Yeah,
it's sick. It's such an unbelievable event, and it's in really inhospitable country. It's like super gnarly, and you go through a prison.
It's an experience, definitely.
Yeah, you got to go through a prison, so you actually go under the prison itself through water, and it's cold. It's like freezing cold. Because it's like in the middle of winter over there.
Yeah.
And Tennessee.
It's like a scary movie, but not. Because it's real, if that makes sense.
Yeah. It's called the Barkley Marathon.
Yeah. That's for you, Nick?
Yeah, so the Barkley Marathon. And I think it's BAR.
Yeah.
Yeah, BARKLEY.
I think it is on Netflix. Jay just said that I think it's on Netflix.
Yeah. I think it's actually just called the Barkleys.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, but it's an unbelievable.
Yeah.
It's such a.
It's an experience.
Yeah. like a lot of people try and get it done and just, oh, it just doesn't work.
Yeah, it's hectic.
Yeah.
Friday, 100th episode. Anything to say, bro? Any last words from you?
Like I said at the very beginning, this was a way for us to stay connected with you guys, and it's something that we will continue on doing. Coming out of COVID, obviously, we may look at changing a few things up here and there, but essentially the theme of it will always be a way for us to be connected with you and you to be connected with us.
Yeah.
You can ask us any questions, stuff like that. Reach out, all the good stuff. Remember, tomorrow, 9 o'clock, we do have the Bayside workout. I will release the workout beforehand so everyone has a chance to have a look at it, and if they need to beg, borrow, steal gear, they can. If they want to do it with gear or without, and then you can make an informed decision. Or if you want to message me with some different options, we can give that to you prior, so you are able to be all ready to go once we get on board. Other than that, another busy day in the office.
Yeah, that's us. I'm super stoked to be here. The weather has just turned on us, but hopefully the sun comes back out. I've got us quote of the day. Channel tagged us in this one yesterday, and I thought this was appropriate for our 100th episode. I'm so grateful that you guys join us every morning for our coffee, even if it is just to have a lazy yarn about what country, where is, marathons, movies, exercise, fitness. Again, it's just staying connected. And I think we all need all the good vibes that we have, that we have to share. So, yeah, that's me. So quote of the day is, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, let's go together. That's the Breakfast Banter 100th episode done. Sending you the good vibes for your Friday. Have a good weekend. See you all on Monday.
Adios.
Peace out. Turn the tunes up this morning.